Hi guys, it's Donna again from mytastyjourney.com. We've made it to Friday. Yay! I weighed myself this morning, as I'm sure you're probably curious, and I was down 5 pounds. And Scott was down 8, of course, because guys just lose weight faster. He had more protein also through the week, and he had his normal breakfast of Cheerios and his coffee that he likes because he couldn't handle the protein pancake and the stevia coffee. So those were his little variations, and he still managed to lose, so more power to you. This was a little encouraging because last night I was dragging. I had went to a yoga class, and about a quarter of the way in, I wanted to just lay in child's pose for the rest of the class. I was dragging, and I was dragging on Wednesday night too, and a friend of mine said it might have been the lack of carbs in the diet, but I woke up this morning feeling really, really lean, and my stomach felt really flat, and my sweet tooth was kicking last night. I really wanted something, but I stuck to it because of the program, and the way I felt this morning. I told Scott, I was like, please remind me of this because I feel fantastic. So when I want those little impulsive splurges, just because, you know, I want them in that moment, remind me of how good I'm going to feel in the morning because I feel great. But besides the no carbs after 3, and the no dairy, I think the only dairy we had was that cup of yogurt on Monday, and I can't think of any other dairy we had. So no cheese. I didn't even realize that till last night. No cheese for all week. But I didn't miss it. It was fine. But so that made me think of how this plan isn't really that different from, like I said, from what we normally do. It wasn't that extreme like I thought. Monday felt extreme because we ate those the like really bland dinner, but after that, when I flavored everything up, it wasn't that far off, except like I said, it was strictly no carbs. We didn't miss them. It's just, well, I didn't miss them till I was exhausted in yoga, but we didn't miss them out from any of our normal dinners where I try to do like a protein and a vegetable. But that makes me realize how important the weekends are, because my weekends have been a little spiraling out of control. I usually weigh myself on like Thursday mornings, and what would happen was I would kind of save my heavier dinners, and I say heavy, I mean that like, you know, spring chili fry pie that I made, which I still ate in portion, but you know, I would have that Thursday, then it leads to Friday, and Friday might be like, oh, let's go for ice cream, and then Saturday was always our big like splurge night. So it kind of just was a lot of things piled on top of one another. I'm really trying to teach myself to get out of that just because it's Friday. You know, we need to have a burger or something. So that brings me to what I want to talk about today, even though I've already talked a lot, is about splurges. And specifically because tonight is my niece's 15th birthday, was on Monday, so we're going to Red Robin tonight to celebrate. And, you know, this is normal life. Nobody, the world's not going to stop just because you decided to be on a diet or on a 7-day slim down. You know, we don't all live in a spa where we get to work out and exercise all day. This is real life, so you need to know how to get through these things, and I'm telling you this as much as a reminder for myself. These are things I did, you know, really strict when I first started, and they worked fantastic. You can still splurge and lose weight. It's just a matter of, you know, getting your mindset, I think, to really be mindful. That's the key thing. You know, if you mindfully eat French fries, honestly, after like 3 or 4, they all kind of taste the same. I mean, you know, we'd all like to eat a vat of them, but if you really pay attention, you know, they would be fine. So that leads me to my here's my 2 little tips for you. One is to have a game plan. I think that's a really good thing. You know, most restaurants, and especially chain restaurants, have menus online and nutritional information. So you can kind of go on there and gauge what looks like the best options for you. You really have to look sometimes too, because, you know, they always say, and it's true, like the salads that you think you're doing really healthy, they have as much fat and calories as a burger. Some healthier restaurants, you know, Panera, I'm looking at you, you have to check, because you'd be surprised how high calorie some of the things are. So that can kind of give you a game plan of what you think is worth it for you. One of my funniest stories is when I first started losing weight. You know, before that, I used to eat McDonald's 3-4 nights a week. So after I had been losing weight for a while and was really doing well, I was like, I really want chicken fingers from Wendy's. which would have been fine because I hadn't had them in so long, but I was like, well, let me go on and look and see how much fat and calories they were, and that was enough for me to put the brakes on. So when you have it in black and white like that, it gives you sometimes that thing to say, well, maybe that's not really worth it, and stops you. I wish I had done that recently with the Cinnabon middles that I had talked about when we went to get Katie's Easter picture. I wanted them out of impulse, but if I had looked at the calories, it would have stopped me. I didn't really want them. We still split them, which was better than nothing, but you know, I wanted them in the moment, but if I had taken that 1 second, looked it up, and saw what the reality of them were, I would have passed on them. I really would have. However, I will say that this leads to rule number 2. If you really want something, if I go tonight, because the only thing listed on the Red Robin website for like healthy is a simple grilled chicken salad. Literally, that's what it's called. I think there might be other options on the menu there, so I'll check it out. But if I get there and, you know, a part of me has been toying all week to say this is part of 7 days you can eat the salad for one night. But if I get there and I'm pissed off and I'm smelling everybody's burgers and I'm going to feel all sad for myself and poor me, I have to eat burgers and nobody else has to. Everybody could eat what they want. I'm going to get the burger, which leads to tip number 2, which is cut your food in half. That has always worked for me. You can still lose weight eating a half a burger or half of anything in a week span. As long as you're doing well, the other 6 days of the week, one meal of a half a burger, you will lose weight. One meal of a whole burger, you're still going to lose weight. It's, for me, it is, this is why I've been doing this lately, is to really do it for one meal. One dinner, one breakfast for us. That's the things I want to spread out. But, you know, cutting it in half, cut a piece of cake in half. You'll be totally fine. Sometimes just that visual is all you need. I mean, you know, they always suggest if you get your meal, tell the server to pack up the other half. I've never done that, but that's really great. One time I had ordered a cheesesteak, and it had come with fries. I didn't ask for them, and I didn't want them because I knew I was trying to be really good. I bagged up the fries, put them away, out of sight, out of mind. I could have cared less. I didn't even think about them because I wanted the cheesesteak, and that's what I had. So, you know, pick and choose your battles. Pick what you really, really want and have it, and just try to have it in proportion. And if you eat the other half of the burger, you're still okay, as long as, you know, breakfast and lunch of that day you're okay, and then the next day you get right back on it and worry about and, you know, fix it all up. You'll be fine. And of course we're having dessert tonight because it's her birthday. So, you know, we're serving ourselves, which helps because I can cut a smaller slice, but I'm just going to try to be really mindful. Have a couple bites and see how I feel after that. And, you know, if I have the whole little sliver, because again, we're serving it ourselves, that's okay too. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. So those are my 3 tips. You know, make a game plan. I already forgot. It's early. Make a game plan. Cut your food in half, and just be really mindful about what you're eating. You know, I already told Scott we're probably going to go out for ice cream every single weekend for the rest of the summer. I'm just going to try to be more conscious and say, okay, you know, I usually get a small anyway. Maybe I'll get the kids cup, and maybe that'll satisfy me. Maybe, you know, if we're going to go out every week, maybe one week I say I really want peanut butter cups. And then the next week I say, well, you know what, maybe I'll just have Jimmy's because that's texture and it's something on top, but it's not as much fat and calories. It's just those little bits. Sometimes those little bit of things can add up. They can add up to weight gain. They also can add up to weight loss. So just be really conscious and mindful, especially when you're splurging. But, you know, really have what you want. If you're just going to, like, hate life because you feel like you have to sit there and eat, you know, boneless, skinless chicken breasts and brown rice and steamed broccoli, and everybody else looks like they're having fun, but you have to eat that all the time, don't do it. Don't do it. I think that's such a silly way to live. You know, really enjoy, especially if it's your one splurge meal a week, especially, you know, live it up and enjoy it. That doesn't mean you have to eat your whole plate. You can eat a half of a blue cheese steak with butter and everything else. Enjoy it, really love it, and don't hate life. Don't get the skinless chicken breast just because you feel like you're supposed to. I think that's so silly. So enjoy life, but we gotta just everything in moderation, like they say. That's the only way to do it. So yeah, that brings us to Friday and the weekend. So that's my game plan going into the weekend. We'll see how well I do. The slim down is really strict the last 2 days. But the slim down is also meant to be like something you do before a wedding or an event. And, you know, me and Scott aren't walking down the runway anytime soon, if you haven't noticed. So I'm not going to feel like I need to be super strict to the fact that, you know, it tells you to eat 2 cups of asparagus the last 2 days because, you know, that's a diuretic and stuff like that. even yesterday, I really wanted hummus for lunch, and I was like, no, I should have the salad because 7 days, and I was like, I'm debating about hummus, like I was deciding whether to like shoot heroin. It was hummus. Like, I'm still making a healthy choice, so that's my plan going into the weekend. Probably their program, but maybe just a little more of what I want versus, you know, following it strictly, because it is really strict the last 2 days, and I don't necessarily, I feel great now without being like super, super strict. So I'm going to take what I did this week and kind of take it into the weekend and be conscious about that splurge for tonight. So we'll see how it goes. I'll probably check in Monday to let you know, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. All right. Thanks, guys, for listening to me all week. Have a good one.